You are watching Pucknology After Dark. Oh my. You...
Yeah. Oh my. Oh my. I don't know. I don't think we've seen that many passes since the SaberCats played at the Shark Tank. Oh, we're a little salty. We are a little salty tonight, folks. But welcome to this edition of Pucknology After Dark, following a catastrophic 1-0 loss over the St. Louis Blues. Trade everyone, fire DeBoer, fire Wilson, because nobody is. I mean, it's okay to be selfish on occasion. That's all I'm saying. To be a part of the show, you can use the hashtag Pucknology After Dark to ask questions or comment about tonight's game or anything Sharks or hockey related. You can follow us on Twitter at PuckGuy14, at Eric Landy, at iReadTechnology, or join us in the YouTube chat as well. We will help and take any and all comments and questions as is. All right. Hi, everybody. I will say hello to the not quite angry Canadian, Ian Reed.
Yeah, I'm playing the part of the not so angry Canadian is Ian Reed. I'm not really all that upset about this game. Yeah, it was frustrating at the end, but the Sharks played good enough game.
They did. That last minute and a half was just annoying as hell. As Eric Landy comes in and would say, "Wow, no laundry. It must have been a laundry day today." All right, Landy, you were cursing as much as I was as we were coming on to set this up.
Yeah, no, I mean, that power play was atrocious. You have a 6-on-3 for 38 seconds, and they are just looking for that airtight slam dunk goal. And you've seen it all night. Elliott is not giving up anything low. You've got to elevate the puck. So it's you're going to either score on a very, very pinpoint shot up, which you weren't getting the time and space to do that, or you're going to score a garbage goal. And you know what? The Sharks didn't want to score a garbage goal. They just clearly didn't. And they didn't put it to the net as much as I think everybody would want. I felt like, Jumbo just kept sitting there and sitting there and sitting there and just was burning the clock. The young kids look good tonight. I mean, a lot of pep from Couture, a lot of pep from Donskoy and Hurdle. Jumbo looked a little slow tonight. Not bad, but, there was a couple back passes that I didn't like. The giveaways were atrocious tonight. I mean, if you looked at the giveaway count, I tweeted that very early. We were giving it away 11 times already, and that was halfway through the game, and I think we ended up with, 18, 19 giveaways in that game. You can't do that. I mean, you can't do that against the Blues and expect to win. I don't care who you are. 18... Yeah, go ahead, Eric.
No, I was going to say go ahead.
Yeah, 19 giveaways is just piss poor. But you know what? I mean, they didn't play, outside of the giveaways, didn't play a horrible game. I just felt like, you know what, they didn't will one tonight. And we've seen them will a goal. I mean, we've seen them really pour it on and really will a goal. I just don't think that extra gear was there tonight. You know what, sometimes that happens. But you know what, the goaltending kept you in it. PK kept you in it. Power play disappointed you tonight. But it's that's how it goes sometimes. You can't win them all, but yeah, that 6-on-3 is just, it really eats at you, because let's say that's a playoff game, and because it played out pretty much like a playoff game, and you get a 6-on-3 and you don't capitalize on it. I mean, you're down 1-0 already, and I mean, it's just, oh boy, I mean
It's almost. I mean, let's give credit where credit is due, and that's where Ian is suggesting they played a good game. They played a great game, but unfortunately, I guess whether it was the scouting report or not, said go high. I mean, I don't know how many times we heard Jamie Baker say he's not giving you anything on the bottom. You got to go up. You got to go up. You got to go top shelf. You got to try and do that. They played defensively one of their nicest games of the year. I mean, Jones with with 23 saves. I mean, he played a great game tonight, and unfortunately, he gets a loss. It's kind of like where back in the day when Barry Zito, forgive me, Gen X, where Barry Zito pitched a heck of a game, but he did not get the run support. It's
No,
one of
you're
those.
thinking of Tim Lincecum, where he just played a balls out game and didn't get the run support, or Matt Cain or whatever. But this isn't Baseball Central or Baseball After Dark. It's Pucknology After Dark, and at least the Sharks picked a fucking good game to lose, because all the other California teams lost tonight, so nothing gained, nothing lost. So if we look at it that way, the race is still on. You still got a game against LA. That second spot is still up for grabs, and hell, if LA goes on a little mini slide here, the Sharks could creep back in it. I'm not saying that they will, but I'm just saying that the crack in the door is still there. So
Sure, but I mean, tonight it was just like golden opportunity, and I had it in the back of my head. It's like, oh boy, LA lost, Anaheim lost, both in regulation. We could take advantage of it, and then all of a sudden it's like, that would be one of those hashtag That's So Sharks, where it just happens to be one of those. Not gonna happen tonight, and it sucks. Ian, put some happiness to us right now.
Sure, I will happily give you some happiness. So let's look at this kind of from a positive perspective. They played a good game tonight. You got to remember, it's not like they lost this game to the Edmonton Oilers or the Arizona Coyotes or the Toronto Maple Leafs or the Columbus Blue Jackets. This is the St. Louis Blues. This is a team that has 95 points in the standing. Like, it's not like they lost to a bad team. They played really well. They're still missing Vlasic, and I think that DeMello's been just absolutely outstanding in Vlasic's absence, but you're still missing Vlasic. So there's a lot of things here. I mean, Jones did everything he could to keep them in the game. Didn't get the goal support, sure, but the Sharks are in the playoffs. It's just a matter of, when they clinch. It's not a matter of if they clinch, it's when they clinch. And yes, I would have liked to have gained some points on, to get back into the race with Anaheim, pass Anaheim and get closer to the Kings. But, at the same time, it wasn't, when you look at who they lost to tonight, I mean, Anaheim lost to the frickin' Canadians.
Yeah.
Like, with of all people, Torrey Mitchell and Mike Brown scoring the goal.
Right, and then you got, and then Minnesota, who's, a playoff team, probably, just fighting it out with Colorado. I mean, obviously they've got a lot to play for, but, you'd think that would be a team that, based on their play recently, that it's a team that the Kings probably should have been able to handle. So it's not like I like our loss a lot more than I like the loss of our division rivals today, because I thought that, again, like, the Ducks have no business losing to the Canadians, but in the NHL you're going to lose some games sometimes. The Sharks played a good opponent, and they lost, but it wasn't because it was a terrible effort. Yeah, was the end of the game frustrating? Absolutely. What are you going to do? I mean, I probably put the second unit out there, but the second unit didn't get it done. I mean, they had a lot of opportunities, but they didn't get done either. I mean, with the game on the line, you're going to put your money on the ice.
But before we go there, though, I mean, I think I would have aligned it as Couture, Jumbo, Pavelski, with Hurdle, Donskoy, Burns, and I guess Marleau. I mean, Marleau did not look good tonight. I mean, I don't know if you guys noticed him, which you probably didn't, but he was kind of Mr. Invisible there. And I'm surprised that we didn't see a little bit of the line blender come out, and we didn't see, I don't think you mess with too much with the top line, but the second line, I mean, maybe you put somebody up there for Carlson. Maybe you put Ward in Carlson's spot for a little bit. I mean, I don't know, but it was frustrating, and I really, again, I just thought that there was too much hesitation in that power play. I think that was the biggest thing for me, was just the hesitation, and it's just whatever. Brandon Quinlog, who I think is a new viewer, RaiderMan94 on Twitter.
No, I know Brandon, all right.
Well, the first time he's really tweeted it.
First time, long time.
Yeah, first time, long time. On a scale of surprised to not surprised, how surprised were you of that Sharks loss? You know what? I mean, it's the way the cookie crumbles. I mean, that could have been a 1-0 game for the Sharks. I mean, it's just kind of how it goes. Am I surprised? No, I'm not surprised. I mean, you know, the Sharks tend to do this. You know, whether they think about it mentally or if it's just what it ends up being. But I'm not surprised at anything. At this point, nothing really phases me. After we saw that epic collapse in the playoffs, nothing phases me anymore.
But aside from tonight's game, aside from the last real power play, I mean, the Sharks. It's not like the Sharks didn't get their chances. They had their chances. I mean, they had some good deflections that you know Elliott just managed to get in front of. It wasn't like it, you know.
No, I think
people are saying like he you know, Elliott saw everything and it was routine shots. I don't think that there's a couple of, you know, multiple deflection shots there that Elliott was able to get in front of.
Oh yeah, and I mean that backhander by Pavelski was a great save. The save where Thornton just dishes it right onto Pavelski's stick from right behind the goal mouth and you know, makes a highway robbery kind of save. I mean, there were some really good saves that Elliott had to have tonight that he just made. And you know what? That's Brian Elliott. I mean, you know, for as much as the St. Louis Blues love to shit on the guy, I mean, he's just consistent. I mean, he's not consistent in the playoffs, but he's consistent, you know, during the 82-game stretch. So you know what? It doesn't faze me that we got blanked by Elliott, but you know, overall the defense played well. I wasn't even really mad at DeMello's pinch. I mean, it was a puck that really, I mean, it was a freaking lucky bounce that they got off the glass that just landed right on Peary, or not Peary. What the hell's his name? Hold on, the goal scorer. Yeah, but Fabry, there we go. That landed on Fabry's stick. I mean, it basically hit the glass and then entered the zone, kind of on like an alley-oop kind of play.
Right.
Lands right to his stick, and then DeMello for you know the semi-bad pinch, because I'm not going to call that a bad pinch. He puts the Jets on and gets all the way back, and he almost deflects that goal away. I mean, he happens to deflect it into the net, but you know. You know what? There was no lack of effort there. There was not a bonehead play. It just sometimes that bounce happens. And if it were Vlasic, he might not have rolled the dice there because he's got maybe a little bit better of an instinct when to go. He's probably errs more on the cautious side, but still, it wasn't a bad pinch. It wasn't like a fluky Burns pinch where you just look at it and you go, oh my God, what is he doing there? It wasn't like that.
No, and I think aside from that, which I agree, I'm not, you know, getting out my pitchforks and trying to find DeMello as he leaves the arena. But I mean, other than that, though, I mean, hasn't he been just unreal?
Oh, he's been lights out. I mean, he's been uncannily Mark-Edward Vlasic-like. I mean, there's not really been that much of a drop off. No. I mean, sure, they're giving a little bit of the tougher assignments to Burns and Martin, but it's not. You know, I was fearing this injury way more than what has actually, you know, occurred on the ice. I mean, it's not bad. And speaking of which, we do have an injury update for Vlasic. Do you guys want me to spill it, or anybody want to take that?
Spill it, because I this is news to me.
So Peter DeBoer was quoted today saying that Vlasic is probably going to be out the rest of this homestand. He says it could be a week to 10 days, but he doesn't think that it's going to be any more than that, and he's going to be here before the playoffs. So we should probably, like I was saying last time, I kind of scheduled either this game or the game after the LA. Let's take a look at the Sharks schedule here really quick. I was really where I was kind of penciling Marlowe in was going to be after that LA game, or maybe even during that LA game. Let's see. So the Sharks, okay, we got the Oilers, we've got Dallas,
we got Dallas and LA, and then
LA.
Back to Vancouver.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with with either that Vancouver game away or the Vancouver game at home. I'm gonna say the Vancouver game at home is when we'll see Vlasic again. That puts him at a little bit over a week. That's about the 10-day range, and it doesn't sound bad. This morning when I got the tweet in, I put on my Dr. Landy hat, and it was probably either a strain in his thigh or his calf that's kind of looked like where Doan got him, but I don't think it's going to be more than that.
Yeah, I mean, it's at the point where you're on the verge of clinching, because that's so Sharks if they were to let this fall apart and the Coyotes get like on a 4-game winning streak just to freak us out a little bit more. But let him rest. Let him rest. I mean, do you want him to come back in time so Dustin Brown can try and take him out? Because we all know he gets reprimanded when he plays dirty. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agreed, and not only that, but DeMello's playing a hell of a game right now, and it's just more experience for him. So when you do have an injury in the playoffs, because let's face it, somebody's going to get injured on the defense. I mean, that's just going to happen.
Yeah.
And you'll have a very you'll have a well-rested DeMello, but you'll also have a well-seasoned DeMello. So I don't mind it at all. And like I said before, he's played admirably. Now, if this was Tennyson, and we were talking about Tennyson having to step in for Vlasic, I'd be a little shaky about that. But DeMello's held his own pretty well.
Yeah. I mean, that's totally fair. And plus, do we even have an update on Tennyson for that matter?
He skated with the team today. He skated with the team today. It was his first skate. So you figure the concussion is starting to clear up a little bit. He's probably a little less hazy, but I don't think we'll see him until the playoffs. That won't activate him.
He's going back to the Barracuda. Let's be honest. I mean, once
he's got to go through waivers. He's got to go through waivers if he's going to go to the Barracuda.
Tennyson on waivers.
Well, go ahead, Eric.
Oh, I was going to ask you this. When Gentry and I were at the Barracuda game, of course, DeMello was called up beforehand for the game against the Rangers. But I always thought Doug wanted to keep everybody left, right on the defensive levels, and we were kind of surprised that maybe they didn't think about putting in Mueller. But
Mueller was called up yesterday.
Yeah, he's the insurance for DeMello.
But see, that's my point. I'm surprised they didn't go left, right. Because there were a couple of times where I saw in these last few games where you have to, cross body to stop the puck getting cleared out.
I'd actually like to I think I understand why Mueller was called up to San Jose. To the Sharks, obviously he's on the Barracuda, so he's still in San Jose regardless. But the Barracuda, their next game I don't believe is until Saturday. So they have no Wednesday game this week. They have a pretty light schedule right now. So I think it's just to get the practices in with the team. That's my thoughts on why Mueller got called up. I don't think it has anything to do with him drawing into the lineup. I think with the way DeMello's been, I don't think why would you mess with that. I think it's just to get him some practice time with the team, and they'll probably send him back down before their game, the Barracuda's game on Saturday.
Well, again, I think it also has to do with the whole injury insurance. If somebody steps on a skate or steps on a puck or steps on a skate or does something during the warm up, you got to have somebody there. I mean, because you can't just do an auto call up, right then and there. So it makes sense why
across the hall.
Yeah,
I would hope that the whole Barracuda squad is in the building.
I think you have to give several hours though before a game to have the call-ups all in place. It can't just happen 20 minutes before the game, like, oh, we're calling him up. I don't think it works like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that's probably why he's here. Now the other thing is DeMello can play on his offside. The coaching staff has really been touting his ability to play on either side. Yep. So, if you're going to do it with anybody, I mean, you've got a younger defenseman who can probably think the game a little bit. He's probably a little bit more moldable, is what I'm saying. So, it makes sense. I mean, I really wish that they would break up the Dylan Pollock twosome and put DeMello and Dylan back together, because it really quieted down Dylan's game. Right now, I think he's a little flighty with Pollock, but that's just me.
But I don't think you want to move Pollock up, because let me look at the minutes tonight now. Bum, bum, bum. I don't think you want to move, because Pollock only playing, but compared to DeMello's 18 minutes, Pollock's playing 15. Dylan's playing 16. I would rather DeMello be playing those 18 minutes than Pollock.
True.
Like
Although
Pollock,
Pollock
he's good, he's rugged, but he's not exactly fleet of foot.
No, he's not. Phil Kearney, who is at PFK3 on Twitter.
I think that's the first time he's tweeted, so thank you and hi.
Thank you and hi. We've been Twitter friends for, I don't know, a few months now, but he's got some good insights. He says, please quote me on the show. 6-on-3, 1 shot on goal. What the actual fuck? So, yes, we did cover that a little earlier. 1 shot on goal is not good enough, and like I think everybody was saying here, or at least everybody was thinking it. This kind of power play better not rear its ugly head in the playoffs, because if that's what you're gonna do in the playoffs, then good luck.
Yeah, and we've talked about it before. In 2013, when they swept Vancouver, their power play wasn't just on point; it was even beyond fleek. Let's put it that way. I mean, it was one of those ones where
fleek is not a thing.
I'm making it a thing because it was a thing. My point is that the Sharks' power play was so good that series that Vancouver was off its edge because they know they couldn't afford to take a penalty, and that's what you need going into the playoffs. Sure, your PK can be great and all, but your power play for this franchise has been historically bad, except for one playoff year, for one playoff series, and it made a huge difference. Speaking of which, our good friend Chester Chiva with a meme on Twitter. That's right. Biggest mysteries of the universe: the pyramids of Egypt, the Easter Island heads, Area 51, or the Sharks power play ranked third. Back to you, Landy.
Yeah. What more can be said? I think the other thing that we've also got to think about too that this top unit has been in a rut for what, 3-4 games, 5 games. Just hasn't really been clicking like it has before. But they'll get through it.
Oh, sure.
They always do. You just hope that it's firing on all cylinders going in the playoffs and not, this kind of like treading water right now. The second unit has been bailing the Sharks out as far as the power plays go. And if I was Pete DeBoer and it was, in the second period or the first period and you get a power play, I would contemplate putting them out first instead of the first unit, because right now that second unit is just working harder, in my opinion. I think.
And it's just. Hang on, AJ. Let me make my point, and then I'll let you jump in.
No.
Sure.
Okay. My point here is you have to time it right. It also depends on who was out there beforehand. I know that one time they got on, and they got on the first time for the second unit, but the problem was that Jumbo and Burnsy were all out there early. Let's try it with them not right on the ice after a penalty gets called. Why not try it? Because obviously they're clicking, and Thornton, Marlowe, Couture, and Burns but it just isn't. They're just the pass happy is ridiculous, and I retweeted a few of them tonight right after the game. It's like, oh sure, with a minute left, you have a 3-man advantage, and you're going to go pass happy. But as we could see, he's getting a carriage ride. Mr. AJ Strong, hello, good sir.
What's happening? So, just to let you know, I am currently being bicycled down San Fernando Street on my way to meet up with NHL ties. All right? So, this is happening. I have my buddies here. Bradley,
Hi, everybody.
Spazzy Mandy, Trills,
Hi, Spazzy Mandy.
Hi.
Phil Jester. Hello, bud.
and the best part of tonight. Now, obviously, not a good score on the board, and I would have preferred to see DeBoer put the second power play unit out there at the end. But the best part of tonight, and I will tweet it out as soon as I'm off this call, ran into our favorite gentleman who calls the plays, ran into Randy Hahn down at the club bar, and the best part, he was completely aware of Pucknology After Dark.
Well, I hope so. His son is on the show.
That was it. I told him. I said, no, that was the whole thing. I went up to him and I said, hey, Randy, is it okay to get a photo? He says, absolutely. And I said, this will be great. I'm going to tweet this out to your son who's on our show. And he goes, Pucknology After Dark? And I said, absolutely. And he goes, that's weird because he goes, my phone goes off every time you go live.
Oh, so he subscribes.
Oh.
Okay.
Nice.
So,
Right there.
okay. Oh, you're not taking. Oh, okay. Hold on. I'm sorry. We have people leaving the bike now at this point.
I'll mute you for
Don't
then.
take my shit, man.
Oh, well.
He doesn't know he's muted.
No, that's the funnier part. It's the first time I actually got to mute him. Oh, well.
Eric figured out how to use the mute button.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, well. You know what? I'm just gonna let him talk.
Yeah, this is a first for you, isn't it? You feel so good with this.
I don't know if he knows.
No, he doesn't
not
know. No, he doesn't.
He's not
All right, let him
hearing it
talk.
either. All right.
Me drop.
Yeah, me drop. I was like, what the hell? Oh boy. Don Holio. Well, Eric Landy cursing on my technology. Don't take my shit, man. Oh, that was AJ. Actually.
No, that was AJ. That wasn't me.
Getting back to the game, and that late one, Phil also chimed in with our good friend Kevin Lacey. Either 12 or 42 should have been out there on the 6 and 3. 27-48 should have been out there. I agree with you. 110%. I do like Ward out in the middle of the net. I mean, we've had success with that, and I've always been kind of curious to see Ward.
Use him
on
as a wrecking ball.
Yeah,
kind of what Chloe used to be. Remember, we used
The issue really was, for me, the issue was just Thornton holding the puck too long.
Mm-hmm.
That was the big problem I had. It wasn't so much, pass whatever, because obviously you have to open a lane. You're not just going to beat Elliott, especially on the night he was having tonight, on a shot he's going to see. So obviously you need to move it around, try and get a body in the way, look for deflection, whatever. The problem I had was just Thornton, just kind of stick handling it there for 5-6 seconds at a time before actually doing something with it. That's where I was really frustrated.
No, I totally agree. I think that's where I almost, broke a blood vessel screaming at my TV to fucking, do something with it instead of just, I'm going to pull it out the Eric Landy saying right here, doing that dick dance with the puck for fucking 5 seconds. Yeah, no, I mean, every time I think about it, it's just like dangling the puck, dangling the puck, dangling the puck. And I'm just like, come on, man. Do something too. I mean, exactly what Chester Chivo says, pucks to the net. I mean, pucks to the net,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's a rough one. Hopefully they will learn, and hopefully they work on the power play tomorrow at practice, unless it's magically a day off. Like Don Holy just said, it would be nice to see someone go to the net once in a while. Yeah, to have that Mike Ricci or that Tomas Holmstrom or that Ryan Clough guy. I think Ward's trying to be that, but I don't think necessarily for taking a tip from the point like we've seen in the past. So I think we've kind of beaten that down. Sharks do not pick up any points, unfortunately, but neither did LA or Anaheim, so that helps. Unfortunately, Arizona did win, so they do, if you dare want to say, climb back into the race, even though they're 17 points down with 9 games left. But
17 points down with. Okay, so they have a maximum of 18 points left. Okay,
right, so they would be at 89, but that 89 means that they would have to win out and the Sharks lose out, and they would beat us on the row, which is why you need that extra point to clinch.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Boys, let's talk. Let's kind of shift gears a little bit and let's talk big Western Conference picture here. Did you guys see that Dallas beatdown on Chicago? What the hell is going on with the Blackhawks?
I feel like the Stars have just had their number this year so far.
Well,
I don't know, but
with Minnesota too.
Let's just pull it up real quick, because man, the Hawks are just in a downward spiral here. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they fall so far as the wild card.
They're going to tank to play LA in the first round.
Oh, hey, you know what? That's fine. if LA wants to, duke it out with Chicago, I'll take her chances with Anaheim.
That would be probably the most evenly.
Okay.
If it were Anaheim, LA, I'm sorry, Anaheim, San Jose, and you would love to have it be LA, Chicago.
So
Not
here's
in the first round.
Here's their last 10, 3-5-2. I mean, that's god awful. And I mean, the way Nashville's going, they're 6-2-2. I mean, they've got a game in hand, and they could sneak up on those Blackhawks. I mean, yeah, the Blackhawks, and you got, of course, Minnesota winning again tonight. They
went to 81, so now they leapfrog Colorado in the wild card.
But Colorado does have a game in hand.
Just something else, sorry, just in relation to tonight's game. I'm just looking at NHL.com, and actually Brian Elliott's the league leader in save percentage right now, for food for thought.
Yeah, I mean, look, like I said before, Brian Elliott is nails in the regular season, but come postseason time, I don't know if he shits himself and just can't recover or what it is, but he kind of has that Nabokov syndrome, where Naby was just could just swim through the regular season and be a Vezina candidate and all that, and then goes to playoffs and God help us all.
But haven't they been using Elliott and Allen as a tandem when they're healthy?
Yeah, but the problem is none of them have been healthy for a long stretch. So, I mean, I think
keep waiting for Jake Allen to take over, and it just hasn't happened.
No.
Yeah, it's like, here, I don't want the net. Well, neither do I. I don't want the net. So yeah, as Ian points out, he is leading the league with a .933 save percentage. And his goals against are pretty damn good too. He's got 2.01 goals against.
That's not bad.
Anything for any new viewers or anybody who's not on the up and up with goalie stats, if you hover around a 925, you're considered elite. 920 is considered good. 915 is average. Goals against, if you're rocking under a 2.2, then you're doing pretty well for yourself. What's up?
Just Chester Chivo in the chat saying the Stars did what the justice system couldn't do with Kane. I think that's a big part of it. Bringing up Kane, though, actually, that's a pretty significant part. I feel like I heard the other day, maybe it was probably on Merrick versus Wyshynski or something, that Kane, or maybe I read it today actually on Puck Daddy, but Kane is only 20 points since the new year after piling up a lot of points earlier in the season.
Yeah, he's kind of dried up a little bit. Yeah.
Trade him.
Yeah.
Trade Kane. Trade him to Buffalo. Get rid of him.
To Buffalo.
It's an $11 million contract.
Yes, trade him to Buffalo.
Trade him to Buffalo.
He'll want to go
Riley, Kane.
So, I mean, I think looking at it, I mean, he's going to be a 100-point forward, and this is the first time in a long time we've had a 100-point forward.
Yeah.
Man, I'm just looking at these stats. Jamie Benn at 82 points. Sidney Crosby just freaking rocketing back up. He's at 76 points. Carlson 74. Sagan 73. Kuznetsov 73. Yeah, it just looks. You know what? It feels like he's the one dominant player amongst a sea of really good players.
And Jumbo's right up there too with his points, right?
Jumbo's got 70. So that puts him
It's more
8.
his other stuff, his intangibles that I think would put him.
Yeah, and it's just we haven't seen the prolific scoring that we saw, post lockout 205 to about 2009, where you see like Vinny Lecavalier or the little guy Martin St. Louis, putting up 100+ point seasons. So it's kind of cool that we'll see somebody break 100, but man, I wish they would open up scoring a little bit more, and I don't know what to do with that. We could go into a whole different
game.
No, you're right. There is nothing really wrong with the game. I mean, we can argue about whether or not the blue line should be in there and offsides and all that, but I'd like to see them trim maybe a collective 2 inches off the pads of goalies, and I think you call it a day after that. And freaking tilt the goalpost in, okay? I don't know why they don't just tilt them in.
I thought you tilted out so that way there's a little more net in there.
No. Well, so what you do?
You want it so if you hit it off the post, you want it to deflect into the net.
Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly. And I think that was a Ken Holland idea to begin with. I think he was really big on that one.
I've heard that, so that's kind of cute. But wouldn't that reduce the shooting plane per se?
Yeah, but if you aim for the net, like if you hit the crossbar, it's in. Instead of it deflecting outward. I mean, I don't know. To me, if you're I mean, how much are you going to decrease the net? Or decrease your opportunity of getting a shot on net by like 1%, if that. I don't know. I think you'd way make up for it in goals that get ricocheted in versus coming out. But that's just me. And then, like I said, you need a collective 2 inches off the pads. And I think I don't know. You can't have Henrik Lundqvist pads anymore. It's just kind of ridiculous.
Oh gosh, yeah. And then they'll have the little extra little sticky thingies that Luongo's had in the past.
Or Quick. Quick's notorious for having jumbo-sized pads.
Yep. Well, let's see. You want to do Slushie's Corner, or do we want to talk about the elephant in the room?
I never got it.
I got it.
Oh, you got it. Okay, what's the
elephant in the room?
Yeah, let's go with that.
The elephant in the room. So, I'm so glad we scored tonight, so we can hear the 2 finalists for the goal song.
Oh God, no, this.
That's right. That's right. Welcome back to Shark Goal Song Idol. Well, they have narrowed it down to Van Halen's "Ain't Nothing But Love" or 2 Unlimited's "Get Ready for This" as the finals for the goal song. They're going to be used in the next 3 games by alternating. Here's one problem. You got to score. I mean, what would literally be that's so Sharks is if they were to be shut out on Thursday and Saturday.
You shut your whore mouth.
Don't even bring that talk in here.
Don't even put that energy out there. You shut your whore mouth.
Oh, come on. I mean, come on.
No.
Wait, hang on.
Oh my God! I just found this on Twitter. Hold on.
We aren't the Vancouver Canucks.
Somebody's Twitter handle is literally not Andrew Bench.
Oh no. AJ coming on in 3, 2, 1.
Literally, it's not Andrew Bench, and his Twitter handle is at bench_blunders. Bench_blinders.
Oh boy.
I didn't make that, folks, but whoever did, thumbs up for you.
Oh boy.
I'm just literally scanning through Twitter and like it's your friends list or who you should follow on Twitter, and it just literally is right there. I'm like, how did I not see that? That's awesome.
We also have another tweet coming in from Chester Chivo. Let me see if I can get it back on here. Unfortunately, it looks like Logan was disappointed tonight, not just because of the game, but apparently he had the look that when Selena Gomez doesn't tweet you back.
Oh, poor Logan.
Poor Logan.
Poor Logan. He's left tickets for her at games, and if I recall correctly, he even tweeted to Selena that he left tickets for her for the game. Poor thing. Anyways, let's get to Slushie's corner.
Okay.
All right. So put your
Okay,
thinking caps
Slushie.
on.
Slushie, before we get into this, you have to be on your best behavior going forward, or else we're going to take away Slushie's corner. We have the power to do that, okay?
Oh,
There's
was he
been
not in the chat?
No, but I'm just saying there's been a reason why you've been on timeout these last few shows, okay? You know what you did. So
Mhm.
so I'm just going to put that out there.
Yes.
It will be Slushie's corner, and then if we're not going to do Slushie's corner anymore, you only have yourself to blame.
Yep. Absolutely. All right. Here is the first question. Throughout the Sharks' history, so we're going from all the way from season 1 in 91-92 to last season. So this season doesn't count. Which player had the worst plus-minus in a season in Sharks history? Was it A, Patrick Marleau in the 07-08 season? Was it B, Doug Wilson in the inaugural season? Or was it C, Rob Zettler in the 92-93 season? Out of those three, who had the worst in team history?
Zettler, Wilson, and Marlowe. It's the choices.
So, yep. So, what are you going with?
I'm gonna go with Doug Wilson because that. I mean, man.
Yeah,
You know what? I'm gonna go with Doug Wilson. I feel like it's Doug Wilson.
Zettler.
All right.
I'm gonna go
End of his
Zettler.
career.
One of you is correct. The person that is correct is Mr. Landy.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yes. Rob Zettler, actually, along with two others, were a horrific minus 50 in that awful 92-93 season where
Right,
the
we lost
Sharks lost
the
71 games.
Yeah, I think the reason why I did not go Wilson there is only because of the amount of goals he would have scored or been on the ice for when they scored.
That team was so terrible. Those first 2 years were so dreadful.
No, I'm totally with you, but that was his only saving grace, and I think Zettler was just not hot.
What was his plus minus in
In
inaugural season?
91, minus 38.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Yeah, 12 off. So I mean, being on ice for some goals helps. He might have been only skating with one leg and had gray throughout his hair and the last Shark to not ever wear a freaking helmet, but at least he was still on the ice for when they scored some goals.
Yeah, it was a bad year. Actually, those first 2 years of the Cowboys were awful.
I don't even remember that we played there. Okay, don't even bring that up. That place is a freaking sty. It's horrible.
And yet they still try to put two more minor league teams in that building. That's the scary part. But like Vince G says in the chat, plus minus becomes a legit stat when you're minus 50. All right, moving on to the Slushie question. What team was the best team in Sharks history? Not by how far they got, but the skill in the players.
We're just yeah.
There's
09.
no choices, but
9-10 when they went to against Chicago.
Ian.
Yeah, 9-10 for sure.
Yeah, he had the triple line. I mean, that's when frickin' Jumbo was having a resurgence with Heatley and Marlowe. When Heatley actually frickin' did anything.
Actually looked like an effing all-star.
Yeah, you had Logan coming on the scene. You had Pabs with Seto and Klo on the second line. I mean, that's a freaking crazy second line. You had Couture on the third line, Manny, Scotty Nickel. I mean, that was a good team.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And it just could not solve Bufflin, man. Bufflin, they should have done. I mean, somebody should have stooped low and taken Bufflin out because that guy was just he changed the course of that series. Nabby had no chance, and Unfortunately, the Sharks had no answer for Bufflin, and that's your Thomas Holmstrom-like player right there that you've been asking for. That just parks his ass right in front of the goaltender, doesn't move. Yeah, Chester Chivo, a jumbo heated patty. Yeah, that was what it was.
See, for me, I would have said 1999, 2000, or 2000, 2001, when you had Domfus, Solani, Nolan, and
Solani was a Shark? That never happened. That never happened.
He was a Shark.
He was a Shark.
That never happened. I'm choosing to forget that era in Sharks history.
Sorry, I can't forget that because he missed a freaking open.
That's why I want to forget it.
Game 7 in 2002.
That's why I want to forget it, man.
Never did that with Anaheim, that's for sure, in the playoffs.
But we all know that his heart, he was a Duck.
Oh, sure, absolutely. And this was that was the all-in trade for that era. But you had the Marlowe line, you had the Domfus Nolan line, you had that amazing third line of Ricci, Sundstrom, and Scott Thornton. So that was a good, solid, balanced team. But yeah,
that was when Lombardi had a real hard on for the veterans, right? That was that year.
Yeah, but he also had the development of the kids too. I mean, at the time he had Zuzan was already gone, but he had Marlowe, Sturm, and Korliuk as skilled players. But those guys, while they're skilled and offensive, of course, no, Setter was more on the defensive end.
So FYI for you guys, tonight's 3 stars, all goaltenders. Number 1, Brian Elliott for the St. Louis Blues. Number 2, Jakob Markstrom for the Vancouver Canucks. And number 3, Devin Dubnyk for the Minnesota Wild. I'll give you the 3-star stats. 37 saves, 37 shots against, a save percentage of 1.0 for Brian Elliott. We all knew that. Jakob Markstrom, 47 saves, 48 shots against, a .979 save percentage tonight. And Devin Dubnyk with 38 saves, 39 shots against, with a .974 save percentage. So tonight was ruled by the goalies.
I thought you meant like in the Sharks game. I thought Reimer got a star just for being awesome.
Yes, well, Reimer has been awesome. And, well, let's put it this way, guys. Jones lost the game. I think it's time to think about making Reimer the starter. Don't you guys think? I mean, come on.
Hey, you can't make a bad decision there. I mean, there's no way to fuck that decision up.
Yeah, there is. Absolutely is.
I don't think so, but
there is, because you're not keeping Reimer going into next year. So why do you want to cause that rift now?
No, I mean, you know what I mean. But at this point, you could literally start Reimer any game and say, oh yeah, well, we're giving Jones a rest because he deserves a rest after the monstrous year that he's had. It's just as far as starts goes. I mean, this is his first year as a starting goaltender, and they put him through the ringer this year. It's not really his fault, and it's not really the coaching staff's fault because freaking Stalock couldn't be trusted to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
But
no, I agree.
But at this point, give him as much rest as you can for Jonesy. But, like I said before, if you split the games from here on out, not that big a deal.
But at the same time, as you go into next season, you're projected to have Grosnick as your backup right now.
I don't think that's happening. I mean, I know that
one-way deal, right?
I know he's got a one-way deal, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Who's that?
Grosnick.
Oh, Grosnick next year. I feel like, I mean, yes, he has a one-way deal, but it's not like it's a financially crippling one-day deal.
Right.
I think he's played himself out of it. I don't know.
To be honest, I mean, St. Owen's right. They need to cut bait on Grosnick. I agree. I think Dell right now has has proven he should be the one that gets the backup position, and if anything, I mean, heck, they might even, you know what, guys? I mean, I was just thinking about this, rolling over the numbers last night. If you give Reimer, what's he making right now? 3 something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, give him $4.5 million for a year.
But someone's gonna. I think here's the problem. Someone is going to pay Reimer, because if I'm the Calgary Flames, especially, I am going to dump a boatload of money in front of Reimer's house and hope to God that he signs, because their goaltending situation is an absolute tire fire. If I'm the Islanders, who can't seem to keep a healthy goalie, I might also, do what kind of similar to what they did in Dallas and just put a bunch of money on there, and then maybe if Reimer can, beat out Halak for the job, then you buy out Halak in the last year of his contract. I just think there's teams that are going to be out there that are going to want Reimer's services for a far more price than we're going to want him as a backup for.
I don't disagree with that, but I would really like to see them make a concerted effort to try and get Reimer to at least a 1-year deal. I mean, I know you're not going to be able to keep him long term, and it's it's not fair to him, right? Because he's played himself into a starter's role. He is a bona fide starter in my mind. You've got a backup, dual starter backup situation here, where you've got a guy who could start for anybody.
Yeah.
So is it fair? No, but when I look at our goalie pipeline right now, I don't see it, guys. I mean, I don't see a prospect that's ready to go yet. I mean, I think Rumpel, has shown some flashes, but he's still got at least a couple of years.
He's CHL goalie.
Right, but I mean, he's still got, like I said, he's still got 2 years that he's got to work his way through the system and prove himself. We got a couple of other kids, but man,
they're young. They're babies.
Yeah.
We drafted 2 goalies. Like, we drafted Bergvik in 13, 14, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And he's completely fallen off. I think he's playing in 3rd division league in Sweden now.
Yeah, at this point, I think we can call him a bust.
He's absolutely. I mean, but I'm pretty sure he's a later round pick anyway, so not a big deal. I like Dell. I don't know. To me, Dell is a journeyman AHL goalie. If I'm Doug Wilson this summer, I'm going out and I'm looking for a guy like an Al Montoya to come in and be the backup. I don't think the backup for next year's team is in the AHL right now. I think, Slushie, we drafted Robinson. We also drafted Jake Kupski as well last year. But yeah, exactly. Robinson, I mean, he hasn't even started college yet.
Yeah. No, and Kupski, what? It's first year in division. What division is he in? Let me look at him. But yeah, first year in NCAA.
Yeah, first year NCAA. He's going to New Hampshire, I believe.
Who was the guy that we just signed though? Didn't we just sign a goaltender?
So Jamie Murray we signed out of Division 3, and what I think is going to happen is I think he's going to, if I was Doug Wilson, and I'm not, my tan is not nearly as good as you see my pasty white face.
You think you have him and Dell battle for it?
No, I think he allows Rumpel to move up to the AHL and battle Dell for the spot, and then he takes over the CHL gig.
Jesus Christ, they are.
Oh, there he is.
I can hear him, but I don't see him.
We're here. Don't worry.
Oh, there they are. Still on.
Son of a bitch.
Okay. Do y'all see that hand?
Yeah.
That is the hand of NHL ties.
Ooh.
Oh.
Letting you know, that is the
So
hand
for all
of
those
NHL
who have a
ties.
thing for hands, you're enjoying this.
See, if only Chris was on to bag on his drink of choice.
Yeah.
That is the hand of NHL ties.
do
We're
we
gonna go
get
drink, boys and girls. We'll see you Thursday.
do we get
All right,
to
man.
say hi? All right,
No.
I guess not.
Guess not.
That ignorant slut.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm totally with you, Ian. I don't see it in our pipeline.
No, you're gonna have to, if you really want to shore up the backup position, you're not gonna want to pull this crap again where you just pull up someone from the AHL and hope for the best. You want to go out. Like I said, I think if you're looking for a guy, I think a guy like El Montoya is the perfect guy, because if you look at what he's done in Florida this year, Luongo's a guy who's gonna hog a lot of starts. Jones looks like, with the way DeBoer plays him, he's gonna be a guy that goes a lot sharp. But when you look at Montoya's numbers, I mean, he's come in and he's done very, very well.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right.
Look at the numbers. Go look.
No. I'm looking. I'm looking right now. I'm looking to see what's going to be UFA this year. Sport Track. What they say? Okay. Cam Ward, Jonas Hiller, Kari Ramo, Nicholas Backstrom, James Reimer, Hudobin, Scriven, Stalock, Johnson, Enroth, Montoya, Peters, Lindback, Ranta. I actually like Ranta, but that's me. Hutton, Gustafson, Zatkoff, McIntyre, Smith, Desjardins, Light, Michael Light. Really? He's still playing?
He's playing for the Chicago's farm team, I think.
Oh shit. Dan Ellis, Dell LaBarbera, Jan Danis. I mean, it's not a great crop for sure, but I'd maybe take a flyer on Hudobin. Maybe take a flyer on Enroth's kind of small. Ranta. Wouldn't that be some shit if the Sharks signed Carter Hutton and he was in our farm system? That would be something so Sharks.
Yeah, well,
He's done good in Nashville. Like, I don't know the numbers in front of me, but I feel like he's really come along in Nashville.
yes, because it's post-Teal syndrome.
Well, I think it's development. It's just a development thing. Sometimes changes.
Oh, a development issue?
Well, yeah, Nashville does have like the freaking goalie whisperer,
That's true. Well, that's what I mean. Like, just I think sometimes a change of pace and like Hutton was crowded. I mean, at the time Hutton left, we had guys that we were really high. We had like Harry Soterio, who we were pretty high on, who ended up going back to somewhere and
done nothing.
He's in KHL.
Okay, he's in the KHL. So there you go.
KHL.
Yeah.
Looking at the UFAs for this offseason,
Ranta guys,
goaltenders, you got, Josh Harding. He's a little bit older, but Josh Harding, Michael Lee, Rob Zepp, Sean Curry. No thanks, JP Anderson. There's a reason why you haven't been getting anywhere. Brad Thiessen and Brandon Anderson. Those are basically all your free agent goaltenders right now.
Anders Lindback is an interesting name.
Lindback's a guy I would definitely take a look at.
Yeah, because
not Lindback. Sorry, I'm not thinking Lindback. I was thinking someone else.
Oh, because I just think that maybe Moose can help him out. Moose seems like he could probably talk to kind of calm Lindback's game down a little bit.
Lindback has gone so, like, he's been around so much and he's never really found his game. Like I remember when he got traded, I think it was maybe to Tampa from Nashville, which naturally just looked really good behind that defense. And I feel like he's been around enough now that he's never found his game. I don't think he's ever gonna find it. He's just he's just a case of goal, like of it's size worship with him. I think it's the big issue of he's so damn tall that people just kind of give him the benefit of the doubt he's tall, because the one thing about the NHL, as we all know, is it's up to a big guy to prove that he can't play in the league, and it's up to a small guy to prove he can.
Right. No, you're totally right. Wouldn't it be some shit though if the Sharks signed Ben Scrivens and then we'd have the LA
goalie pipeline?
Yeah. I don't think that'll happen, but.
But guys, there's a couple of things I wanted to bring up here.
Yeah, definitely.
We were talking about Markstrom, how he was one of the stars tonight, and he lost the game. Winnipeg won that game 2-0, and the Canucks, and we were talking about lack of scoring. The Canucks have been shut out for the last 228 minutes. They have not scored since the 12-minute mark in the first period in a 3-1 loss to Colorado the day before St. Patrick's Day.
Okay, so is it time to shit on the Canucks now?
Can I shit on the Canucks? I love shitting on the Canucks.
Yeah, let's shit on Canucks. That's always fun.
The Canucks, the Vancouver Canucks.
On the Canucks Radio Network.
The Vancouver Canucks. The problem with the Vancouver Canucks is this is a team that desperately needs to rebuild and is in complete fucking denial about it.
Yeah,
This is the Vancouver Canucks.
This is like the Flames 3 years ago or 2 years ago.
Yeah, or 4 years ago. Yeah.
Where they were just hanging on for dear life. I mean, this is worse than the Sharks because at least the Sharks have some decent pieces, and they have been shuffling the deck a little bit, and it might not be as much as we would have wanted them to shuffle the deck. At least there's been some shuffling of the deck. Vancouver is literally like a cat in water trying to do anything with this team, and to be honest, like what the hell is why can't I think of his name? The president of the
Linden,
Canucks?
Trevor Linden.
Trevor Linden.
Yeah, I mean, what is he doing?
That's the point. In that, if me and AJ have always tell you how much we love TSN 1040 in Vancouver. The fans are wanting a direction, and the reason why I bring this up is because they want to hear what the heck's going on. Kind of like what we heard in Ottawa this morning with the Sens owner, Eugene Melnyk, pretty much saying, no job is safe.
One Erik Karlsson, please.
Oh, that's the first thing I was going to say. It's like we will trade Chris Tierney and...
Hey, you leave him out of this. You leave him out of this.
Tierney and a second-round pick for Erik Karlsson.
Oh, you're gonna need more than that.
Oh yeah. We're talking at least Tomas Hertl and Tierney and the first round of pick. And that's to get you into the door to the discussion.
But going back to I want to go back to Vancouver a second.
We want to shit on Vancouver.
That's why I was mentioning Vancouver.
Benning was the other guy.
Here's the thing with Vancouver though, and because I know there's a lot of Shark fans that are like, Hasso's an absentee owner and he's not involved too much.
At least it's not the Aquilinis.
Correct. That's kind of the point I want to make. You got to be very careful what you wish for in this situation because I think Vancouver, part of the reason they're in the mess they're in, is because I feel like the owners meddle too much. The other thing with the Canucks too, to play devil's advocate here, is they're down the middle. They got completely ravaged by injuries down the middle, and you can't win shit in the West if you don't have something in the middle of the
don't make excuses for them, Ian.
Well, you gotta be objective, and I think that
don't. You losing
it's the Canucks. Losing Better was a huge loss for them. But at that same time though, I think you've done some things you made some mistakes too. Like another thing that they probably should have done, they probably should have let Jared McCann go to the World Juniors. Because he's just seems like he's very, and I like Jared McCann a lot, and it was a nice story, him for Tannen making it out of camp. But man, that NHL season, that first NHL season for guys like that, especially a guy that age. I think McCann's 18. That's a grind.
Hey, besides Hunter Shinkaruk, do they have any other prospects that aren't on the team that's notable?
Wasn't Shinkaruk traded for Granlund?
Yeah, he was.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just looking at what's in their prospects in the system.
They have a lot of their guys up there.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now. It's just like there's nothing in their pipeline system is basically rated and gone to the home team.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I just
there's a couple of prospects that I really like on Vancouver. There's Thatcher Demko, who I think is going to be an outstanding goalie. He's just obviously most of their prospects that are of any note, I feel, are kind of sitting in the in college right now, right? Brock Boeser's another guy who I think is going to be great for them.
That's the goaltender in Boston, right?
What?
For Vancouver.
Demko?
Yeah. That guy looks like he's going to be something unreal.
Yeah, and then Brock Boeser is another guy who I think he's right wing. He's going to be something for them. Like I said, I like Jared McCann. I think Jared McCann's going to be awesome. I just think that the season caught up to him. Other than that, though, their pipeline is pretty hurting.
Yeah, I'm just looking. I can't believe Brandon Sutter is 27 years old. I can remember when he broke in.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. Okay, Horvat, I like. He's a very good young up and comer. I like him. I like Vertanen, and I like Linden Vey, and that's about it. And I don't know, guys. If you're looking at what's coming up in the pipeline for the Flames, you know, what the Oilers are going to be, what Arizona has. I mean, hell, what we have, I mean, isn't too bad. I mean, I don't see the Canucks being a power fighting for any kind of position for the next 5 to 6 years. I
They
think
need to, until they decide they need to actually rebuild, they're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, no, I agree. I totally agree because you're like I said before, you're gonna have the powers like Calgary and Edmonton whenever the hell they finally turn the page.
Edmonton for a minute.
Yeah, go
I
for it.
want to rant about Edmonton. I kind of want to do it in Edmonton's defense because there's a lot of like talk, obviously, right now about how Edmonton, oh, they're gonna get another first round pick and it's gonna get wasted and It's starting to piss me off though, because here's the thing. Yes, I'm not gonna. Obviously, the proof is there. They've squandered a lot of first round picks, but the problem is that I don't know what were people expecting. Like this year was gonna be it. They were just gonna go and be awesome this year because they drafted McDavid. They need time there, and the thing that pisses me off more is because it's like. I understand it's the same team, but it's completely different management starting this year. And to kind of give them that baggage of all the shit that's come before them, it kind of pisses me off a little bit. And I get most of it's just, hockey shit talk, and that's fine. But I mean, if you honestly believe that just everything's just still going to hell there, you got to actually, do some homework. They're doing a lot of the right things there, I think. Peter Chiarelli's been doing a pretty good job since he's taken over. This wasn't going to be an overnight thing. I mean, even, you go back and you look at even when Sidney Crosby broke into the league, it wasn't like he immediately turned Pittsburgh back into a playoff team. It takes time. There's messes that have been made in Edmonton that are going to take some time to clean up. And I don't think it's fair to get pissed off at them because they didn't Peter Chiarelli didn't miraculously turn him into a playoff team in a year. And you're talking about a team that's lost so many significant pieces to injury all year. Stupid injuries.
All right. And I think that's fair, but I'm going to play devil's advocate here. Out of their big time prospects, whether or not you're talking about Taylor Hall, or you're talking about Jordan Eberle, or you're talking about Nugent Hopkins, or you're talking about Yakupov, or
right.
The list goes on and on and on. When are they going to get the balls to trade one of those players? And I think
they do this summer.
I'm guilty of wanting to hold on to prospects a lot longer than you should because you want to make sure that they're not going to come back to bite you in the butt. However, they have this treasure trove of young forwards.
Right.
Why has the defense been so mismanaged and so neglected for so many years? I mean,
well, because again, I think they did okay. You don't want to miss. I mean, again, it's a new management group, so you want to see with your own eyes what you have this year, and you want to see what you can do with an actual coach that's actually going to be there for a while in Todd McLellan. And I think now that they've seen what they have, I think this is the summer where they are going to make moves to move a guy like an Eberle or, I honestly think the only two guys that are truly safe there are probably Draisaitl and McDavid. I think everyone else is probably on the table at this point.
Agreed. I mean, I think.
If they go into next, year, next season with all these guys still in place plus whatever they draft, in the thing. And look, I hope they don't win the lottery too. But if they win the lottery, I don't think it's such a bloody outrage. I mean, they it's a lottery for one. If you win, you win.
I don't know, man. I'm going to be a conspiracy theorist, number one, if they win again. They should not have won McDavid. I mean, that was That they totally overrided Buffalo there. Buffalo should have had McDavid. You know, if
That's
any
the draft. I mean, that's the draft lottery, though. I mean, that's what you know. I mean, a lot of teams tanked, and you don't want to see tanking. And I mean, that's the way the lottery works. And I'm fine with the lottery, and I'm fine with Edmonton winning it. I mean, it's a stupid magical number combination, and they just happen to pull it out.
I don't know, man. I just okay. Okay, you could have in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
You could have gone with Ryan Murray. He was the number 2 overall pick over Nail Yakupov. At this point, I would take Murray over Yakupov. Hell, Griffin Reinhart. I mean, Griffin Reinhart.
Yeah, I mean, they traded for Reinhart. Yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing with that. I mean, like, but again, that's missteps that were taken, that were made by the previous group, and I don't think it's fair to saddle this group with that baggage.
No, I think it totally is fair. It's still the same organization. I mean, it's
right,
still
but that's completely cleaned house over the summer.
After how many years of this, though?
Well, for sure, I get that.
I mean, that's the problem I have is the longevity or the systemic problem, the systemic cancer that has been the Edmonton Oilers since 2006.
But they've made it's not the old boys club anymore. Like, it's not Kevin Lowe just hiring all his buddies anymore.
I totally agree with that, but I still think it took far too long to address this. It took
for sure. I mean, it took Toronto.
Yeah, same thing with Toronto, but I think that the blame is squarely on the ownership group of the Oilers. I think that's really, if you want to really affect change, you gotta go straight to the top, to the ownership. And we know that he kind of sat on his hands because he wanted that new arena. That has been his whole end game, is that new arena downtown in Edmonton.
Right.
I mean, like I said before, it took too long, and unfortunately, I'm sorry, Ian, but I'm gonna shit on Canadians right here. They can withstand a shit product for way longer than what an American team can, and sometimes it's a bad thing. Because
I absolutely agree.
Because
I'm not going to argue with that at all.
They should have been throwing jerseys in like 2012.
I'm shocked that there hasn't been any Vancouver jerseys thrown yet. By the way, welcome back to Oilers Talk here on Chad.
Don Julio was asking what's Edmonton farm system look like. It's not bad. There's a few guys of note. But yeah, it's been the same problem for years. It still needs defense. I mean, and when you make a huge overpayment for Andre Sekera, you know that their defensive depth is not great.
Well, when you're playing Justin Schultz and then you actually trade him, I mean, come on, that's just brutal. St. Owens. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like the 2012 draft, Ian, two defensemen. That's all they took was 2 defensemen. 2014 draft, 1 defenseman. Only in the 2015 draft did they take 4 defensemen. They
first draft under Peter Chiarelli, might add.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, but like 2012, 2 defensemen. 2011, they took 4 defensemen. Okay. But you're talking Dylan Simpson, who hasn't done anything. Martin Gernat, who hasn't done anything. Clefbaum is the only person of note from 2011. David Musil, I remember when he was picked up, and they were saying, oh my God, this is a great second-round pick. He hasn't panned out. 2010, they took 3. I mean, yeah, it's just like Jeremy Blaine.
That Nurse guy, though, he's pretty good.
Oh, yeah, that Nurse guy's pretty good, but, when you're 7th overall, I mean, yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's enough shitting on Canada for right now.
What?
We love our Canadians, but they really can withstand this shit product for far too longer than I can. No, sometimes it's a good thing. That's a good thing. But it shows that you guys are true hockey fans, because you guys can live with a very bad product for a long time and still consume it because it's hockey.
Well, they have all kinds of other hockey. I mean, they have what is it? 60 teams in the CHL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
60
60 teams in the
teams. I mean, and Ian's right nearby one of them. If not
one in my
more,
home.
right?
Yep.
Hey, Sault Ste. Marie, man.
Yep.
Great team.
The Greyhounds. That's where Joe played his junior years.
Yeah, that's true.
And Sidney Crosby. Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds, right?
No,
No, I thought he
played
was
for Rimouski.
Rimouski.
Oh, I thought. I'm sorry, I was just channeling my inner.
But you know, there's some guys that played for the Hounds that may have panned out. There's this Paul Coffey guy that played for the Hounds, and there was this Wayne Gretzky guy that played for the Hounds, and we've had a few guys turn out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because they were talking about Edmonton, let's talk about our next game, which is against Edmonton.
Hey.
So, guys, as we get set to wrap this up, we got to get this right.
Oh yeah, there's this
we
game
should
you have to get.
I mean, I think there should be no reason to wait on Arizona to lose to Dallas. Let's just get it done, and
I cannot wait. I cannot wait until the Sharks take a freaking steaming pile of crap on the ice against the Oilers, and we just look at it like, oh my God, what have you guys done? I mean, is this gonna go like that? But no, in all honesty, like literally, the Sharks just need to just throttle them. I want it like 7-0.
After tonight's performance in the end, whoa, what the heck happened there? They need to
now I'm just throwing things.
They need a drubbing.
Yeah,
and
no.
Start Reimer.
Yeah.
I think they start Jones, but I won't cry if they start Reimer.
Daryl Martin, Bud. Good evening to you, sir. With one of my Pucknology After Dark this hour is sponsored by Tim Hortons. Hashtag Oilers Talk. Hashtag Canucks Talk. Hashtag Where's Drew?
Hey, double with Timbits. Thank you very much.
Oh yes, I've never had Tim Hortons. The second I cross the border, I will totally hit Tim Hortons. I'm gonna buy a cup. I'm going to buy a shirt if they have them, and then I'll have the food.
Yeah. Well, family-owned property in Nova Scotia, so yeah, that's I've definitely ventured to Tim Hortons quite often. Double, man, nothing better.
Sorry, I apologize for derailing the show and sending it to Oilers Talk.
But now you made me hungry for Tim Hortons. Thank you.
I just
can you send some over?
Stuff.
They have a really good chicken salad sandwich too.
You two can't wait for the draft, can you?
No, I love the draft, man.
That's our favorite time of year.
And hopefully we'll have an afterglow when we have the draft.
Oh, hey, just looking at Sault Ste. Marie real quick, I hate to go drive this back over there, but there's this Ronnie Francis guy.
Yes, that other guy that not only played but born and raised.
And then also this Lindros fella. Is he any good?
He was drafted by us, but he never played. He pulled a Quebec on us.
Oh, did he?
Yep, but we won a Memorial Cup out of it, so that's fine.
Bastard. Hey, well, at least they knew what the hell they were doing when they drafted a guy like that. But hey, no shit. Rob Zettler, he was a Sault Ste. Marie Greyhound.
Yes, he was. He's in the Hall of Fame. I actually have a picture on my phone that I was going to post and I forgot to.
Was Roy Sommer the coach at Sault Ste. Marie for a year or two or something?
When we won the Stanley Cup, When we won the Memorial Cup, it was Ted Nolan.
Yeah, Ted Nolan, Jordan Nolan, Jake Muzzin. Wow.
Jake Muzzin, yep.
Jeff Carter, Rick Tocchet.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, yeah, man, there's been some good players gone through here. Yeah. Darnell Nurse.
Yes.
Wow, these some
Jared McCann.
Yeah, these guys are not too bad.
Joe Thornton.
Tony Esposito.
Desi.
Wow.
Andrew
Yeah.
Desjardins.
Okay, Eric. I think it's almost
Now that
about
we've-
time. Yeah, now that we've kind of gone back to the OHL again.
We welcome those of you who just finished watching The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon.
Hey, we've only gone, let's see, we're only at an hour and 20 minutes. Okay, that's not too bad. Especially when it's the three of us.
You know what? It's always fun to have you guys because we actually get to talk, and we're talking hockey, which is fun because fun must be always. But most importantly, this is our passion. We love it. We like it. We want some more of it. Something like that.
And you have the founding members of the Chris Tierney fan club right here.
That's right here.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. A quick plug. Ian, what's coming up on Teal Tinted Glasses this week?
So teal tinted glasses, we're gonna do stuff. Basically the usual. The return of Ian's Hockey 101 will be on teal tinted glasses this week. Also coming up on Pucknology.net, I am doing my top 20 Sharks prospect ranking. So that'll be coming up soon.
Hey, you told me to keep that under the reps.
I didn't want the list being distributed on the show.
Spoiler alert, folks. 2014 played a big role.
Yes. I may be a big fan of the 2014 draft class.
I think we all are. There wasn't too many misses in that draft, which is highly interesting, especially from the Sharks' perspective. But we'll see if Roy Sommer and Doug Wilson screws them up.
Oh gosh.
Although a couple of them are like surefire right up Roy's alley, so he can make a Tommy Wingles out of one of them. I'm sure of it.
Absolutely.
Oh, dear God.
His first name might be rhymes with Ilin, and his last name might be Hadawi, but I'm just going, on a flyer on that one. Yeah.
I'm hoping Hadawi turns out more of a Chloe than a Dylan or than a Wingles, but
he's gonna be that plucky two-way forward we love to fucking develop. Oh my God.
On Thursday's show, we'll try and find out whether or not Hurdle should be a power forward.
he is a power forward. What are you talking
He is a power forward. I mean,
What the hell do we draft Meyer for?
Because
if you have a line of power forwards, they can just wreck anybody. I don't care.
Oh gosh! All right.
Hey, I want some freaking Broad Street bully action. All right. Shark style.
And guess what? I want.
Now we need to learn how to skate. Isn't that all our prospects, though, St. Owen? Really?
Yeah.
That's literally the Sharks' MO. Is they're just slow and high IQ, but slow.
High IQ, can't skate. That's okay. That's why we have our practices at Sharks Ice. We can have them go to the center rink and get some skating lessons.
So they're gonna skate on shitty ice? I mean, come on.
There's one question I need to ask
Sure.
a reporter. Why the hell are they having the morning skate at the practice facility and not at the Sharks rink? I still don't understand that.
Well, didn't they have
the Shark Tank is too humid.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I thought. Remember
Isn't
when
that
they
a
were?
disadvantage,
I remember when they were gonna change up their home, home style or whatever because it was just not getting it done. I don't know whatever happened to that, but.
Yeah. Anyways, we'll wrap this up. Get it out of here. I still can't believe 18 people are watching this still.
Hey, make sure that you subscribe to Eric and Ian's Prospect Corner. You can do that right there.
What? I think you two, when we do get to draft time, we'll just let you two talk. I'll just be here watching just to make sure you guys don't drop too many F-bombs. It's like, no! I wanted them to take Matthews. Why did they take that guy? Oh, my God.
But we all know that Matthews is going to Winnipeg because Arizona takes their team, so Winnipeg will take their team.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Look, as long as he doesn't go to the Oilers or the Canucks, I pretty much don't care where he goes.
Exactly.
Yeah, no,
All right, Eric, take us
when
home.
we get to the draft, we're gonna hammer the draft like crazy. Don't worry, Pucknology is gonna be on that.
We will be on it more than KBR, 1050, and 95.7 combined.
Did you see?
We'll cover the draft better than KBR and 95.7 cover Steph Curry's ankles. Back to the Landy.
Yeah, did you guys see Fear the Fin's little article on the prospect we've both been touting for the last 2 weeks? Sorry. Sorry.
It was a good article though. You should read it.
No, it was a good article. It was a good article, but it just took them 2 weeks too
And
long.
then come back to Pucknology
Yeah.
and read our stuff.
just saying, folks, if you want to hear about Sharks prospects, this is the place to come. Not those guys. Just saying.
All right, with that, it's time to wrap this up. Subscribe down below or to the side. Check out Pucknology.net for all your latest Sharks news. What?
Fuck the Fin.
Wow! No. They're a rival, but we
I love Fear the Fin.
No, we love Fear the Fin, but I'm just saying that you could have learned that 2 weeks ago from us, but just that's all I'm saying.
With that, make sure you subscribe to Pucknology After Dark on YouTube. Make sure you visit Pucknology.net for all your latest Sharks news and stuff. Apparently, we present more out in advance than anybody else. Hey, what a concept. I know. They're awesome. That's why I like them. Until Thursday night, which I hope I'll be breaking out the sparkling apple cider. Keep the good vibes for me. I'm going to be trying out for Wheel of Fortune Round 2 tomorrow in the city, so keep my fingers crossed for that. And until Thursday, keep it real, keep it fresh, keep it real fresh. Hi, Randy Hahn.
Bye, Randy. We love you.